Hello everyone, welcome to Sportsbook Review's coverage of the Europa League. Group stage begins on Thursday, so we're going to run through the games that we actually have official plays for. But then at the end, we're going to play correct score round, whereby put the guests on the spot and ask them for their correct score in all of the other games. Bit of fun. I know they're not units on, but it was a format that seemed to work pretty well. At the end of the Champions League show, Tancredi started singing the Champions League anthem, so it was a good time was had by all. We've got Alex Classic Tips, otherwise known as Alex Campean, alongside me, and George Gamble, who's back from our man in Croatia, is back. How are you doing, George? Are you excited about the Europa League?
Yeah, I am. I actually obviously made my debut on this show covering the Europa League final last season, and obviously got to a winner there, so hoping to carry on that form. But yeah, back from Croatia. Kind of wish I was potentially doing this show from there, but we can't have it all, can we? But no, looking forward to getting back underway.
Great. Thank you very much for joining myself and Alex. We're going to start analysing the games in just a minute, but please give us a like. We got more than 100 likes while the actual Champions League show was going on earlier. So let's see if we can beat that target.
Hit the Champions League. You cannot beat that target with the Europa League. Come on.
You never know, Alex. You never know. We've got George now, so he's
oh yeah, correct.
He's a bit of a legend in these parts. So I think maybe we'll get there. Hello to Sean. Great to have you here. Hi Kyle. Hi Gaz. Hola Barsaman. Hello, Suresh Limbu. Great to have you here.
I mean, Sean MCK is saying that he was in a meeting during the Champions League show. You must be ashamed of yourself. Hola, hermano.
You missed the classic. You missed the classic. Now, I did start with the games in the Champions League show, but that was remiss of me because I should have given everyone an opportunity to discuss who they think is going to win the tournament. So with that in mind, I know it's not quite all the elite teams in Europe, but Alex, do you have an early favourite to win the Europa League? Is there a one or two teams that stand out as being the best of the bunch?
No, I wrote an article about this, about the futures. I think that the Europa League will be won again by a team that will come from the Champions League, from the third place in the Champions League. So this was my take 2 years in a row, and it was spot on. So I think that we should see it again. Yeah, interesting names. I mean, you have a Leverkusen, a Lazio. I don't know who else. Not a lot of huge names. Let's put it this way. I see a good run from West Ham. I don't know. I have a good feeling about a team coming from Champions League win it again.
Well, there's no Arsenal in this year's competition, so viewing,
unfortunately,
I'm going to plummet. No one's really going to be interested in it anymore. But hey, yeah, for the uninitiated, if you don't know, the teams that finished third in each Champions League group drop down to the Europa League, and generally they're among the favourites as soon as they go in. Would you agree with that sentiment, George? Do you think it's going to be perhaps a Champions League team that clinches this?
Yeah, completely. I'm 100% agreement with Alex there. It's kind of best off waiting and see who does drop down into the Europa League. You know, the teams that are already in it, there are a couple of decent sides, but, you know, obviously there's a reason the other teams are in the Champions League. The quality just tends to be a little bit better. So, yeah, waiting game for me. Wait and see who drops down.
Proline King is asking if we are betting real money on these picks. No, we are betting Bitcoin, so not real money.
It's yeah, we do bet money on these picks. We bet Bitcoin, we bet Ethereum, we bet dollars, we bet whatever we've got. Not
my mother-in-law sometimes also.
Sometimes, yeah. I bet my mother-in-law on Arsenal beating Norwich at the weekend, and she's she was excited when Aubameyang tapped in from about a yard out. Okay, but thank you for that, Proline. Yes, that's what we do. We bet, we have great fun, we share best practice with our wonderful community of viewers here, and we hope to make some great profits while betting on the beautiful game. Okay, so our first game that we're going to cover is Bayer Leverkusen versus Ferencváros. Hungarian champion. Just scrolling down to see who's got a play on this, but you both have, so that's okay. Bayern Leverkusen have made a blistering start to the new season, haven't they? Pretty leaky in defence, but they've been great going forwards, very entertaining. Alex, do you think we're going to see another open game in this one?
Yeah, I think so. This is what I have for this match. Leverkusen a little bit better in quality. Ferencváros, the Hungarian team, are coming from Champions League playoffs against the Young Boys Berna, and they lost both games 3-2, 3-2. But they played really well on both occasions. They have a great striker. That Boli guy has a great pace, a great shot from outside the box. He's the real deal there. Probably he will not be at Ferencváros next season, but I expect him to make his debut with a goal maybe. I don't know if he will score or not, but this is what I have a feeling about it. Both teams to score for me at 2.1 seems like a great value. Leverkusen with an amazing firepower. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough. The 3 goals that they scored against Dortmund because they conceded 4. So, okay, Ferencváros, they don't have the attacking firepower of Dortmund. But that doesn't mean that they don't have weapons to score against Leverkusen. It will be an open game like the German team always tend to do in the European competitions. And the price for both teams to score at 2.1 is just amazing.
Nice one. Thanks, Alex. Loving PJ Simpson in the chat asking if Proline King is really a king. He says there's a couple in Nigeria and he's just wondering if he has actually got a crown above his head. Hello to Brown Magic. Hello, Bala Barsaman. Hello, Idris. Hello, Radio. Idris says, how many likes do you need to sing again? Well, if we get 100 likes on this, maybe George can start rapping. Is there...
I think your faith in my rapping skills is entirely misplaced.
Okay, well, maybe. I don't know. Is there a Europa League anthem as such? It's not iconic like the...
yeah, but it's not such an iconic... Yeah.
Maybe we'll give you a rendition of something.
They don't have enough money to pay someone to do the iconic anthem, you know.
No. That's competition of Europe, isn't it? Still, Arsenal still can't win it though. George, you've got to play on this game as well. I believe you are going for the same thing.
I am. I've seen it at a better price. Obviously, I've seen it at around 2.28, which I thought was, again, basically the same as Alex. You know, it's a brilliant price. Leverkusen, they were dominant last season in the group stages of the Europa League, winning 5 of their 6 group games, but they did concede 8 goals in 4 of those in total. And as you said, you know, they've obviously got off to a flyer so far this season in the Bundesliga, but they have also conceded 6 goals in their opening 4 games, and that includes 4 at home. So it just shows they can be got at. And as Alex has already attested to, you know, Ferencváros, in terms of the way they play, very unlucky against Young Boys. You know, they played well, scored goals. They've scored in all but 1 of their 11 games this season. And I just think that the bookies are slightly underrating their chances here when you look at the price of both teams to score. It's just it's overpriced.
At Unibet.
Yeah. And it's just overpriced completely. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, I saw Alex put it through at plus 110 and you put it through at plus 130. And at the time, the best price I could find was plus 125. So I've given you both plus 125 on that. But yeah, shop around for your odds, guys.
But yeah, so, you know, both sides, I think, can be found wanting at the back, a little bit shaky, but are great going forward. And I think when I've watched Leverkusen, they apply that pressure excellently and they do create a hatful of chances. But on the flip side, they don't half commit a lot of errors defensively, and they do occasionally struggle against more sort of physical sides. And the manager actually, I was going to try and pronounce this one, Gerardo Sioane. He joined from the Swiss side. Yeah, he joined from Young Boys back in July, and you know, watching via, you can kind of see they're playing sort of a similar vein to Young Boys. It's a team I used to love watching from Switzerland, just simply because they were so exciting going forward and had somewhat of a "we'll score more than you" kind of approach. And yeah, so for me, I think the most straightforward pick on this one was both teams to score, just like Alex.
Yeah, I mean, yes, normally this game should be a 3-1, 4-2 type of game, in my opinion. Because Leverkusen attacking, they are brilliant going forward. Paulinho, Wirtz at the back there, and Diaby and Schick in front. Schick maintains his great scoring form after the Euros. I mean, I don't know. I see Leverkusen topping this group at the end because they are with Betis, Celtic, Ferencváros. Maybe Betis will cause some problems there, but normally they should qualify from the first position here. But they will concede, and probably in every match, even against Celtic, they will concede.
Yeah, they weren't great in last season stage, were they? I remember them sort of losing games that you would have expected them to go on and win. But yeah, neither of the guys are going for the outrights in this game. Both sticking to the goals markets, but there are very good odds on it if you agree with them. Okay, Dinamo Zagreb versus West Ham United. What happened to Dinamo Zagreb against Sheriff Tiraspol in qualifying? Lost 3-0. I was surprised by that because they beat Spurs in the Europa League last season. I thought they were a decent team, but apparently not. They're coming up against West Ham, who have made an unbeaten start to the new Premier League season. Who's got a play on this? It is Alex. What are you going for, Alex?
Yeah, if you're watching a little bit of statistics, Dinamo Zagreb against Sheriff Tiraspol, I watched the match. This is why I'm comparing a little bit with the statistics. 65% possession, 22 goal attempts, 6 shots on target, 12 corners, and so on. But it wasn't like a dangerous type of match. Sheriff Tiraspol was never in danger if you look at the real match and if you watched it on TV. Yes, they created, but they failed to score, and their shots were not at all dangerous for the Moldavian keeper. So very poor, very disappointed with Dinamo Zagreb in this double leg tie against Tiraspol. They failed to score in both games. It's unbelievable. On the other side, hopefully, we will see a real starting 11 from West Ham. Normally, let's put it this way: the English teams in this Europa League, for example, and probably also in Conference League, they tend to use their B team, let's say, in a way, to rest many of their key players because they always think that the Premier League round is way more important than a match like this against Dinamo Zagreb, right? So I don't know if Michail Antonio, for example, will play, or Fornals, or the duo Suchek and his teammate. I forgot his name right now, but. Normally Kufal and Suchek with Bowen there. Normally, I think that at least 7 starters we should see from this West Ham side, and they are clinical if they play with Antonio. And they added also Kurt Zuma at the back because they struggled a little bit at the back of keeping clean sheets. So that is a brilliant transfer from West Ham. I see them not losing this trip, and I have them with draw no bet at 1.7. So West Ham with draw no bet at 1.7.
Yeah, I would expect Antonio to start because he's going to be suspended for the next Premier League game after he was
perfect,
wasn't he? So I think he should have enough quality to at least get his team a point in this game. George, you're not going for this, but if you had to, what would you say would be a correct score in this game? Sort of gut moment.
Correct score. I'm going to be brave. I'm going to back the Hammers at a 2-0. Particularly after what Alex said. I've only seen small bits of Zagreb, not as much as Alex, but I think the sheer difference in quality. If West Ham, do play some decent players, but no, I think West Ham can control that, show their quality in the end, and get a 2-0 win. So I'll go 2-0.
All right, thanks, George. Yeah, sometimes it is worth checking the starting lineups of these Europa League games because certain clubs don't take the competition all that seriously. This was particularly the case with the Italian sides last year, which is, as you can see, we haven't got any official plays for the likes of Lazio because you kind of want to see how seriously teams are taking it. Next up,
and it all depends also in what group they are, because the big names right now, like Lazio or I don't know, like I said, the Leverkusen or even Napoli, they don't have tough groups, so they can even drop some points in some matches. And you have to always think whom they are playing next weekend. And in Italy right now, the fight for the title this year will be even stronger than what it was last year, with the Juventus struggling, with the Roma, Inter, Milan, Napoli, and even Lazio playing there for the top spots. The Champions League position at the end is way more important than going all the way, because they know, okay, it's all about the money at the end of the day. But they know that there are some teams that are coming from the Champions League, from the third place, and we don't stand a chance to win the competition. The Spanish sides tend to play very, very focused on this Europa League, because I think that they won it like 12 times in the last 18 seasons, the Spanish sides. So if you want to bet in Europa League, do it more on the Spanish sides than on the Italian or on the English sides.
Okay, thanks, Alex. Yeah, we've got a couple of Spanish sides coming up further down the card. Moving swiftly along to Red Star Belgrade from Serbia up against Portuguese team Braga, who I generally feel are the fourth best team in the Primeira Liga in Portugal. Decent team, often get good results. Nothing from Alex on this game, but George has a bet on it. What are you going for, George?
I do indeed. It's interesting you say Braga being one of the best teams. They're actually the underdogs going into this one. Obviously, I think we all know how hostile the atmosphere can be in Belgrade. Alex, you might be able to shed some light, because I think there are going to be fans in there, but I can't guarantee it. Do you know if there's going to be fans at this one?
Because I know absolutely.
Because recently, I think we're in for a brilliant game with this one. But like I said about the fans, it's going to be so hostile. We've seen, I think, Liverpool travel there in recent times, and it was just immense. And in fact, I think the fans rioted during their title win in celebration. So,
for these teams in Eastern Europe, this type of matches are top of the top.
Yeah,
they are no matter they are playing their best. You didn't even question that they are playing their best 11, a full crowd, from the pushed from the back from the crowd. So it's very important this kind of games against Braga. But of course, also Braga will take this match in great consideration.
And that's exactly what I'm counting on in terms of the angle that I'm taking on it, really. I'm going towards the goals again, simply because, you look at Braga, they scored in all but 2 of their 8 Europa League games last season, but they also conceded in all but 2. And in a similar vein to the Leverkusen Ferencváros game that we were saying, I think Braga, for me, they're quite an exciting team to watch, and they utilise that ability to get down wings, creating chances. But they're also one of the most fouled sides on a regular basis, and they've got some brilliant set piece takers, so they can create goals from kind of anywhere, really. The problem is they do get hit on the break quite a bit, and they're quite often opened up relatively easy. Given how hostile this atmosphere is going to be, given what an occasion it is, as Alex has already attested to, these games are the pinnacle, obviously in Eastern Europe. And I think we're in for an absolutely fascinating game. And I think that there could be quite a few goals in this one. It's just very simple. I'm going with the over 2.5 goal line. That was at 1.87. I thought it would be a little bit lower. So that's minus 115. Like I said, I think it'd be a little bit lower. So it's a value punt, and kind of looking at the game as a whole, looking at the two sides, for example, Red Star Belgrade home games lately have seen a hatful of goals. They've been on really, really good goal scoring form. So, I really like over 2.5 goals in this one.
Okay, thanks, George. Barca man's going for Red Star draw double chance and under 3.5 goals. So you might both pay off if it ends up in 3 goals. Harry says that Villarreal are Martin's favourite Spanish team. Too soon to joke. Sean doesn't think Red Star are as strong as they were last season. Alex, correct score? Guns ahead in this game?
2-2.
2-2. Okay, thank you. Moving along to the next game, we have La Liga team Real Betis against a Celtic team that have kind of fallen on hard times to a certain extent in recent year. Well, in the past year or so, basically, a bit of a messy situation there in the summer. Didn't play particularly well in qualifying. We've all got something on this game, so let's start with you, Alex. What are you going for in Betis versus Celtic? Oh, he's got mute. You mute. You're mute.
Sorry. My dog was barking, and I said to mute myself. So it's really difficult to back Celtic on the road in any competitions. Okay, in their domestic league, okay, we know. But, in their domestic league is Celtic Rangers, and that's it. But in Europa League against a team like Betis, who is very aggressive, who has a bunch of very talented players like Fekir, Canales, Juanmi in front. And again, I'm going with the same thing, Spanish team. Focusing on European competitions. Betis are not a top team in La Liga. So this competition is very important for them. The money are very important for any Spanish team, even if you are a Real Madrid or a Barcelona right now. The money are very important if they're coming from outside, because you know that they have some problems with paying their players and so on. La Liga are desperate right now. So every cent that is coming to a club like Betis is very important. Celtic, they played AZ Alkmaar in the last qualifying round, the playoff round for Europa League, and they lost on the road 2-1 in the Netherlands. I think that this will be a one-way game. I think that Betis should get the job done in style. I'm not going very, very strong with a -1 or -1.5. Yesterday, when I shared my picks with you, Betis were at 1.8 to win this match. Today, they are at 1.75, 1.7 with some bookies. So it's a big drop. They are playing today against Granada. This is my only worry. What will happen? Who will get injured and so on? But if everything goes as planned and everyone will be safe and they will enter this Thursday match at home in front of their fans with their best 11. And I think that they should get the job done here. So home win for me.
Yeah, my fear for Celtic is they lost their best central defender to Brentford in the summer. And
Nice.
against Nabil Fekir and Borja Iglesias, I just think Betis will have too much quality on the ball for them. And can cause problems for that defence with Tottenham loanee Carter Vickers in the team. If you do want to get a bit more value from this game, George has got a way of getting more value. What are you going for, George?
Yeah, so again, sticking with the goals market for me, just kind of looking at it, Alex already mentioned Betis play tonight, so it's going to be interesting to see how that one goes. And again, you look at Celtic, yes, we all know that they're very good in Scotland. They're used to playing that possession-based football, given that they're one of the two dominant teams in the league, that they're better than the majority of those sides, and therefore they create a lot of goal-scoring chances. But in Europe, it's a completely different kettle of fish, and they do seem to struggle. They went out of the Champions League in qualifying at the hands of Midtjylland. But obviously Real Betis will pose a completely different test. I completely agree that there'll be a sheer difference in quality there. I think if anyone's going to get the win, it's going to be Betis. But watching Betis, I think they do struggle to finish their chances. They're extremely wasteful, and that's evident by the fact they've scored just 2 goals in their opening 3 league games, and just one of them being at home. They've reinforced defensively over the summer, but they failed to address their attacking issues. They haven't really brought in anyone of note, if you like, to kind of ease that up. And for me, I see it, like I said, they've reinforced defensively, and I see the game being played the majority of it in the middle. And I think these two could cancel each other out, with Betis maybe getting a narrow 1-0 victory. All of Betis' La Liga games have seen under 2.5 goals land so far. And like I said, for me, I think they end up cancelling each other out. So I really like the price of it. It was that, as well as the price, that made me want to go on this from a value perspective. So I'll be playing the under 2.5 goals. It was at 2.1 plus 110. I found it. I think it should be more around 1.9. So there's a little extra juice in there for me. So that's the angle that I'm taking.
Oh, okay, that sounds good. So, I mean, if you want to put them both together, you could go for Real Betis and under 2.5 goals. Or if you don't have to be quite so bold. If you do think Betis will win, you could go for Betis and under 4.5 goals. And sounds like, based on George's analysis, that it's going to be a low-scoring game. Alex is saying Betis. I'm going for Betis as well. So there you go. Next up, PSV Eindhoven versus Real Sociedad, who are actually my favourite team in Spain. None of this Villarreal nonsense. Looking forward to this game. I mean, Real Sociedad are just great going forward. Isak, David Silva, if they play a strong team in this, surely they can get on the score sheet. PSV are tremendous going forward. I am very much looking forward to this game. Fortunately, you're both on this again, so it's all worked out quite well. We'll go to you.
It's and I think that it's a full house, right?
Yeah, indeed. We'll come to you first, George. This time, what are you going for?
Yeah, well, again, looking at this one, PSV marginal favourites going into this, and as you said, PSV, I think they're brilliant on home soil. In fact, since the start of last season, PSV have won 17 of their 22 home games, which includes European competitions as well as the Eredivisie. They're just exceptionally strong at home. And despite losing a couple of key players, they've begun this season really well, and they've scored 9 goals in their opening 2 home games. Now, you could argue that the opponents aren't of the quality or the organisation ability of Real Sociedad, but nevertheless, PSV, they're free scoring. But they do also have a tendency to concede themselves, especially even against sides who, aren't that impressive going forwards. Again, similar to what I've said before, it's very much of a we'll score more than you approach. But yeah, just the amount of chances they create is phenomenal, and they are clinical. And again, they're also very good from set pieces. And in fact, this season in the Eredivisie, they're averaging a goal per game purely from set piece situations. And Sociedad aren't the best defensively when it comes to those situations. They're vulnerable when it comes to set pieces. So I think that could come into play here. And you look at Sociedad, they've won just 8 of their road games since the start of last season, and they do tend to struggle, I think, against sides that are just constantly in your face, full of energy and want to get at you. They do often struggle with that. So I think, obviously, as you said, I love David Silva as a City fan. That I can't hold him in higher regard. I think he's absolutely brilliant. The way he can just dictate the play, and you don't even notice him at time, but what he does is just phenomenal. Having seen that for almost a decade at City, and so I'm looking forward to seeing him, and I think he will need to be at his best if Sociedad want to get the win here. But I think we'll see some goals in this game, but I don't see PSV losing the match. So for me, I think the best pick was PSV double chance and over 1.5 match goals, and I found that at 1.8 or minus 125. I think that was a very, very solid pick.
Okay, great. Thanks, George. Alex, are you going for goals in this one?
Yeah, I'm going for goals. Despite PSV losing 2 of their top guys in the summer transfer window, Dumfries and Malen to Borussia Dortmund there, but they still have a great attacking firepower there with Zavahi, the Israeli striker, like Shan MCK is saying also on the live chat. This guy is brilliant. They have also Götze, if you remember him from Dortmund. He scored, I think, that the winner of World Cup, exactly, for Germany. He's still young, and they also have Gakpo from the Netherlands international team, from the national team. Sorry, Gakpo very good on the left there. So this PSV is giving a lot of players to the national team, and they are very good. And like you said, Real Sociedad and all the Spanish teams are taking serious this competition. And when you have like an Isaac with an Oyarzabal there, always ready to deliver, it's the Alex Classic here all the way, but I'm not forcing it, the Alex Classic, just going with the over 2.5 goals at 1.73. I think that there is plenty of value in that.
Okay, nice one. Thanks, Alex. Yeah, I would be inclined to agree with you on that. I think PSV tremendous going forwards, but I think Real Sociedad get on the score sheet in this one.
Absolutely.
I added this one in at the end, Rangers versus Lyon. Despite neither of these guys having a pick for it, I just wanted to add one more in because I only had 2 picks and there wasn't a great deal that interested me in this round of fixtures, I must admit. But the more I looked at it, I eventually just came back to thinking that Lyon are going to go to Glasgow and get a result in this one. I know Rangers have been very impressive under Steven Gerrard over the past year and a half, but just look at the quality within this Lyon team. You've got Dembele, who knows the Scottish League well, who's going to be keen to get a result against Rangers. You've got Aouar pulling the strings. I just feel like they've got too much technical ability and too much quality. And I've got -105 on Lyon, draw no bet. Just looks good to me. Don't knock a gift horse in the mouth. I know Rangers are a good team, but that's what I'm going for, guys. Do you guys have a correct score if you had to on Rangers versus Lyon? Alex.
Rangers versus Lyon. 1-1.
George.
It's honestly like an echo in here at the moment. I'm just agreeing with everything Alex says because I was going to say 1-1 as well.
Okay. That's all good. And that is a nice segue to our correct score round. I was going to call it gun to head round, but I thought that sounded a bit aggressive. But the concept is that if you have to, we know you're not putting any units on this, so it's not official plays, but the viewers like to hear what everyone's opinion on the games that we're not covering massively. So we'll just run through them all and you can say your correct scores, sorry. So we've got a game on Wednesday, actually, which is home team Spartak Moscow against Polish champion Legia Warsaw. Correct score, Alex?
1-0.
George?
2-0, Spartak.
Got it. Next up, we have Galatasaray versus Lazio, Alex.
This is difficult. 1-1.
Okay, George.
3-1 Lazio, just to be different.
I'm going 3-1 Lazio too, I think, if Immobile and co start and Milinkovic-Savic. Lokomotiv Moscow versus Marseille, Alex.
Oh, Marseille battlers in the European competitions. 2-1 for Lokomotiv.
George.
Oh, for goodness sake, I'll go 1-0 Lokomotiv. Stop nicking my score lines.
I'll come to you first for the next few. Then,
exactly. Yeah.
Midtjylland, you can pronounce it better than me, actually. Danish runners-up last season versus Ludogorets. George.
2-2.
Alex.
2-1.
To Midtjylland.
Yes.
Rapid Vienna versus Genk, George.
2-1 Rapid.
Alex.
2-2.
Yeah, I like that. Sounds about right. Brøndby versus Sparta Prague, George.
2-2.
Alex.
1-1.
Okay, we'll go back to Alex first now. Eintracht Frankfurt versus Fenerbahce.
This is a difficult one. 1-1.
George.
3-2 Eintracht.
Ooh, like it. Leicester versus Napoli, Alex.
Interesting one. Leicester versus Napoli. 2-1 Napoli.
George.
1-0 Napoli.
Ooh, I'm going to go 1-1, I think. Monaco versus Sturm Graz, Alex.
3-0.
Monaco.
Yes, Monaco.
George?
2-0 Monaco.
Nice, like that. Last one is Olympiacos versus Antwerp, Alex.
2-0 Olympiacos.
George?
2-1 Olympiacos.
There you have it, guys. The people have spoken. Okay, thank you very much. Oh, Harry's going.
Just write them down. So next time when we meet after 2 weeks to see if we had any correct score, win from all of those.
You'll get some good odds on those correct scores.
Absolutely. Like a 2-2 type of game is like a 12-1, a 15-1.
Oh, exactly. Esteban, could you please give us the official picks and we'll read them out? So I've just got 3. I'm going for West Ham, draw no bet at -143. Real Betis to win at -125. And I've chucked in Lyon, draw no bet at -105.
West Ham draw no bet, same. Betis to win again, same. Leverkusen, Ferencváros, both teams to score +125. PSV Sociedad over 2.5 -137.
Yeah, Leverkusen, Ferencváros, both teams to score at +125. Belgrade against Braga over 2.5 goals at -115. PSV double chance against Real Sociedad and over 1.5 goals at -125. And Real Betis against Celtic under 2.5 goals at +110.
Got it. Thank you very much, George. Thank you very much, Alex. Thank you, everyone in the chat, for watching on. We've got 28 likes out of 71 watching. Hit that like button on your way out, please. Show some love for George and Alex. Fortunately, we didn't have to subject you to anyone rapping the Europa League anthem, but there's always next time.
There is also Conference League, but we are not covering that.
Still a sore subject. Arsenal didn't even qualify for that. We're not doing that. Okay. Thank you very much, both. Appreciate your time. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Enjoy the games. And we look forward to seeing you later in the week to cover Bundesliga, Serie A, Premier League, and La Liga Primera. Thanks, guys. Take care.
Thank you. Take care. Best of luck with your bets.
Take care, guys. Have a good one.